Now in this video we will discuss this topic reflection in a much more detailed way. Till now I have told you about regular and diffuse reflection. Now we will stick to regular reflection. I have told you what? On a surface of mirror, if light comes and light goes like this is called regular reflection. Now this topic is called regular reflection. Now this regular reflection only we have to discuss everything in detail to understand this mechanism behind it. So there are small to big details that we have to know. So let's start with the details part. The first thing that you should know that while doing the reflection, you have to indicate this ray of light by how? The ray of light, how we indicate the ray of light? Ray of light is indicated by a line, and very importantly, you have to put this arrow. So ray of light is indicated by a line and with an arrow. Okay, this arrowhead represents what? This arrowhead represents the direction of light. So it is very important that you represent the arrowhead. Without the arrowhead, things might go wrong, because let me tell you, if you are representing a light like this, so what happens over here? It can be two choices: a light going from this side to this side, or some people may also say light going from this side to this side. But once you indicate this arrowhead, it is very much clear to everyone that light is going from in this direction. So direction of light is like this. So the first point that you have to remember is what? That we have to represent the ray of light with a arrowhead. Okay? So this is the first point. The second thing that you have to know, how to represent a mirror. How to represent a mirror. Representing a mirror. So my second point is representing a mirror. How to represent a mirror? Let's understand how we built a mirror. How we built a mirror. So we have to take a glass. Glass is like the spectacle glasses. So we will take a glass. Now on this glass you have two surfaces. Okay, one is the top surface, one is the bottom surface. Okay, this bottom surface, or say take any surface, you silver it. Say suppose I take this book. If I consider this book as a glass, now I have two surfaces. One is this bottom surface and I have the top surface. What I do is that on any one surface, suppose if I take this surface, bottom surface, I coat this surface with a layer of aluminium or silver. So I put some layer or some coating of aluminium or silver. If I do it, this surface is not the reflecting surface. The opposite surface becomes the reflecting surface. So if you have a mirror like this, you must paint so if you are seeing yourself on this mirror, okay, suppose you can see your face on the mirror, means what? The other side, the opposite side, this back side is coated with aluminium or silver. Okay, it is coated with aluminium or silver. So suppose this is my mirror. I am representing with a block. So it has two surfaces. One is the top surface and one is the bottom surface. So on the bottom surface, I coat it with a layer of aluminum or silver. So this bottom surface is coated with a layer of aluminum or silver, and this process is called as silvering. So this surface, so this is what? Coating. Coating of what? Coating of aluminum or silver, and this process is called as silvering. So silvering is a process of coating one side of the glass with aluminum or silver. If you coat the bottom surface with silver aluminum, then what happens? The top surface, this top surface, that is your reflecting surface. So this surface, okay, this surface is your reflecting surface. Okay, so this side is the one side is the silvering surface, other side is the reflecting surface. So how to represent a mirror? So this is not how you represent a mirror. This is, I have shown how a mirror is made. So how to represent a mirror? A mirror is represented by a straight line. The side in which you do coating of aluminum or silver, you put lines like this, and these lines like this is called hatching. So these lines are called as hatching. So this is the how you represent a mirror. So this is the side which you coat with aluminum or silver, so this is called hatching, and the top surface is the reflecting surface. So this surface is the reflecting surface. Okay, so that is how you represent a mirror. So if you have to see yourself, you do not stand over here. You have to stand in front or opposite of the reflecting surface. So a person needs to stand over here to see himself. But if you stand over here, no, you cannot see yourself, because this is the silvering surface. So this will not reflect any light. This is the reflecting surface, so light will get reflected from here side, from this side. So I think how to represent a mirror is clear to you. Now, as you know how a mirror is represented like this, this is the mirror, and suppose this side is my silvering surface. I represent this by lines known as hatching. Now, so after this, how to do? After this, I have to represent a ray of light which is coming towards the mirror. This ray of light is coming towards this mirror. So how to represent this ray of light is coming towards the mirror? By a arrow, which I told you, by a arrow you have to represent. So this ray which is coming towards the mirror, okay, I represent it with the letter, say this point is called O, and say this is A. So AO is the ray which is coming towards the mirror, and this is called incident ray. So this is called incident ray. Okay. Now, as the light approaches the mirror, then what will do? Then what will happen? Since this side, this surface is the reflecting surface, RS represents reflecting surface. So the ray will bounce back. And suppose this is I represented by the letter OB. So OB over here represents what ray? This is my incident ray, and this ray is the reflecting ray. Sorry, reflected ray. Okay, not reflecting, reflected ray. Okay, incident ray, and this is OB is known as the reflected ray. Now, on the surface on the surface, reflecting surface, at the point O, you have to draw a 90 degree. So 90 degree you have to draw. How to draw a 90 degree? I'll draw it like this way. So I will draw it like this. So now you can see this green dotted line and the surface, they are 90 degree to one another. So this is my surface and this is the green dotted line which I have drawn, and you can see both are at an angle of 90 degree. Over here 90 degree angle is formed. So this line I represent it by ON. So ON represents what? Represents a line which is 90 degree to the surface, and this line we call it as normal. So we call this line as normal line. Now let me tell you, AO is actually, this is a real ray. This is a real ray which is real. OB is also a real ray, the ray which is bouncing back. But ON, this is not a real ray. This is an imaginary ray that we consider to make certain things simpler, which we will discuss later on. So ON, this normal, is actually an imaginary ray, okay, which we use or which we draw to make this total these technical things more easier for us, okay. Now as you can see, this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray, and this is the normal ray. Now between the incident ray and normal, there is an angle formed. So between the incident ray and normal, there is an angle formed which I am representing over here like this. You can see this angle, huh? So this angle, this angle over here is angle, I say AON. Angle AON is called angle of incidence. It is called angle of incidence, and we represent this angle with the letter I. So AON, this angle is called as the angle of incidence, and we represent it with the letter I, okay. And after this, the second angle that we consider, can you see the second angle over here? This is between the normal and the reflected ray. So I'm talking about this angle, okay, this angle. So this is angle say BON, and this angle is called angle of reflection. It is called angle of reflection, and this is represented by the letter R, okay. So we represent it by the letter R. So this is called angle of reflection. So you have to know basically these points. One more point is there. This point O, the point O, okay, this point O has a name. This point O is called point of incidence, okay. So incident ray, reflected ray, normal. This is the incident ray, reflected ray, normal, and more three things. This is called the angle of incidence, this is called the angle of reflection, and this point is called the point of incidence. So basically these six terms you have to know to deal with this topic, reflection. So basically as we go ahead in this chapter or in higher classes, this knowledge has to be there. What is the angle of incidence? What is the angle of reflection? Which one is normal? Which is my incident ray? Which is the reflected ray? And what is the point of incidence? So I hope these six terms are clear to you.